boys and girls. I am Mrs. Squigglewinks, and I am going to be filling in for Mrs. Wigglesworth this morning. I am so delighted to see you here. I have a very special story today. It is called The Story of Zachary Zween. I wonder what mischief that Zachary will get into. Oh, well, let's find out the story of Zachary Zween. Albert Ames went first each day because his name began with A. For A to Z, that was the rule of this particular London school. A to Z, boys, said Miss Midge when walking over the London Bridge. There they are. Oh, Miss Midge. As Albert headed up the line, he said, "First place is always mine. I'm first on walking tours and games because I have the best of names." And who came last? Poor Zachary Zween, so envious that his face turned green. Yes, Zachary Zween got most upset and angry at the alphabet. In class 'twas A to Z for spelling, for history and storytelling, for recess and arithmetic, for jumping in the gym. 'Twas Albert first and Zachary last. No one came after him. Oh, he's so upset. He does not like being last. He doesn't like it. So upset. With lessons over for the day, the teacher often led the way across the meadow called a mead. Behind her came the boys with speed, and Albert Ames was in the lead. But who came last? Why, Zachary. See? Because his name began with C. So they go in alphabetical order. Poor Zachary. Poor Zachary. Oh, he almost has to be last. Out to Hyde Park, last in line, Zach sailed his boat on Serpentine. There he is, all alone. Last. Last in line at Marble Arch and famed Trafalgar Square. Last to sit upon the lions that guard the statue there. Oh. So he's always because of his name. But Albert Ames went first each day because his name began with A. When to the Queen Al carried roses, he had the most upturned of noses. And he was first to feed the swans that float along the river, first to wander through the tower and give a little shiver. Oh, so he's first. Everywhere. Always first. First in line to see the palace and the place where the March Hare first met Alice. First to see the changing guard. Oh. Oh. And first indoors, while hailstones hard poured down on Zach out in the yard to make a fuss Zach thought is silly. Who wants to be a whining Willy? Since Zachary Zween is my real name and always will remain the same, why not make going last a game? Oh. So he's going last. Being last met last, and yet a boy could find a horse to pet along the way, and then catch up to pick Miss Midge a buttercup, or help a helpless little cat, and other useful things like that. Oh. So he's making it a game. I love it. Being last, Zach saw just how the sidewalk artist draws a cow, a speckled fish, grapes in dish, or anything that you might wish. Being last, you run or trot on gravel path or grassy plot. You find out what is wet and likewise what is not. Look at little Zachary Zween. Oh, he's making the most of it. One day they walked too far afield, almost halfway to the weald. The boys were tired and it was late. Miss Midge was in a dreadful state. We can't return on foot, she said. We'll have to take the train instead. Each boy found a seat inside where he could rest his feet and ride. The train stood puffing on the track. There was room for everyone but Zach. Each coach was filled from door to door, and no more trains till 4:30. Poor Zachary was filled with gloom. Each coach was packed. There was no room. Until the guard, a friendly man, said, "Ride with me, son, in my van." Oh! "Come follow me and be my guest." "I'm so excited," Zach confessed. Albert Ames rode way up front. As cross as he could be, Zach rode in back, for luckily his name began with Z. Oh! He rode the guard's van at the end, and as the train went round the bend, he helped the guard apply the brake. He shared his crumpets and his cake. What a ride and what a lark! When they got home, it was quite dark. Oh, he's having a time. Oh, he's having a time. Look at that. Oh. "Being last I'd like to be," said Albert Ames quite sulkily. "For after all is said and done, you look as if you'd had great fun." "I did indeed," said Zachary Zween. "And never more will I turn green, because I can't go first like you to Hampstead Heath and the London Zoo. Will I be envious? Not at all. When we go marching through them all, no longer will I get upset or angry with the alphabet." Oh, look. After that, through fog or drizzle, Zach was never known to grizzle, which in London means to grumble loud as any thunder rumble. And A to Z is still the rule of this particular London school. Albert Ames goes first each day because his name begins with A. Albert Ames goes first each night to brush his teeth and light the light. And who goes last? Why, Zachary, see? Because his name begins with C. Oh, that's lovely. With his position quite content, he makes each day a great event. Good things come last, declares Miss Midge, when walking over the London Bridge. And all the boys clap long and hard for Zachary Zween, their strong rear guard. Oh, look at that. Oh. The end. What a lovely story. I am so happy that I was able to read to you today and help out Miss Wigglesworth. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are smart. And you are fun.